Hello everyone, Simple Majority here, back again. So last time we left off, we were producing the ethanol crystals for the next stage of our growth. This is episode 7, I believe, yeah, 7, of Rotarycraft, well, of the old miner, but part 2 of the old Rotarycraft. This is going to be broken up because obviously it's going to take some time to get there. Let's see, I got some signs put down finally. I'll head on down here. I also added a switch right here, so we can turn this on and off as needed. Shouldn't have anything in it except water at the moment. Okay, so let's head back and get started. So, oh yeah, I forgot something that's in this room. I think I had more produced. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's get started. So the next thing we need to build is the grinder, and we're going to need to build the gasoline engine for the grinder. Let's get my book down here real quick, and we'll grab our tools just in case we need those. And our steel shafts, we're probably not need those. We'll grab whatever parts we have in here. Some HSLA steel gears. Gonna really need to get started on building the whatchamacallit. Need to get started in building the thing. Yeah, that thing, that thing. Right. And where did my pipes... Oh, you know what? I know what I did. I don't have enough steel right now to make any. God dog it. Old age, old age. Alright. And just in case I need the servo. So, by the way, to make up copper, I don't have any copper. Steel is another one I was thinking about. But copper plus glass gives you the tempered fluid ducts, which, by the way, only holds standard temperatures. You'll need a high temperature duct if you're working with, here it is, the hardened fluid ducts, which is a little more tougher to make. Anyway, can't believe I threw those away. Okay, we'll put that up there, put this down here. Okay, so let's get started. First what we're going to do is we're going to build our engine. And to do that, we're going to need some parts. This is actually going to be a little more complex than what we have been building. This is the gasoline engine. And this is going to produce 128 Newton meters of torque, 512 radians per second, and 65,536 kilowatts of power. Wow, that's a lot. Or 65.36. Yeah, if it was anything over the thousands would be megawatts. So, it's a little more complex. We're going to need 3 cylinders. We're going to need 2 cylinders. We'll need a gold ingot. We'll need an ignition unit. We're going to need a 2X gear, shaft unit, 2 base panels, and an impaler. Fortunately for me, I haven't even made my gold yet. I tell you, even if I write a script out, it still don't come out. I can still never get it right. There we go. Alright, so that's cooking. Oops. I'm going to need my ingot press. Our mold. There we go. So, let's go ahead and start cooking on the other stuff that we can do. Now, to make the, I think you have to use the work table for this. To make the shaft, we'll need, and I can't remember if it has to be done here. It had no, it's on the work. This is a work crafting table. So make the 2X gear, that's easy enough. We'll take 2 shafts. Need 2 HSLA gears, and no, that's not right. Ah, there we go. I had the pipe. Okay, so like that. 2 HSLA gears, steel gears, 2 shaft units gives you a 2X gear unit. To make the cylinders, I believe it was just like this. No, maybe over here. No. Alright. So we'll bust out with the Rotarycraft. There's our gas engine. So the cylinders, wow. Should have known it was something silly. So pretty much just like that. And you get 2 per 1 shot, so don't worry. So that's pretty cool. The impaler, we know how to make that. We're going to take our gear like that. And there we go, impaler. Need a couple of whatchamacallit, space units. I'm going to go ahead and make quite a bit of those because you notice it's kind of a large part of the mod. These and shaft units and so forth. Okay, so now we need to make that ignition unit. And to make that, we'll need 2 pieces of gold, redstone, HSLA. Now we don't have the gold just yet. We'll go ahead and lay out the rest of this recipe. Like so, I need to go get my redstone out. Okay. Nice thing is we don't really mix with too many other metals. And we got gold, obviously. Gold's going to be used to make those contacts that we need. Should be 6, right? Yeah, 6 gold. I need a total of 3 units. I need to get back down and go do some mining. I really do. Oops. And there we go. Alright, we'll head back over here. Deposit these. There we go. There's our ignition unit. Okay. And we should now have all the components necessary to make the engine. So we need a gold piece here. Ignition unit goes here. 2x gear here. Shaft unit here. The pistons. Where are you, pistons? There you are. Pistons here. Base plates. Here, one here, and then the impaler. There we go. And we now have an engine. Cool. And we have a cat who's being very annoying. And not anymore. Alright. Just close that door on him. I feel sorry for the poor thing. All those storms have really kept him inside, stuck inside with me. And he just, all he wants to do is go out and play, and he can't. Because he has a very annoying thing about he don't like to be out during daylight hours. So we'll put the gas engine there. Notice the red box pointing out. That's going to get us good. Get us set up. We'll head back over here. We're not going to power it just yet. We're going to make something, a couple things here, because eventually we're going to do something pretty cool. Now, what we're going to make is a meter that will actually read us right here, the dynamometer, which will give us a dynamometer, which will let us know what kind of outputs we are. And we can do that with silicon, shaft unit, rotary mount, or interpearl shaft unit, and so on. Now, I was thinking that silicon's going to be a little harder to make. No? 4 sand, 5 sand, blast furnace. Okay, look at there, 700 Celsius. We need blaze powder plus aluminum to make that. And I don't think we can actually get that. I think we're at 640 Celsius. 640. So we can't get any higher than that than where we're at right now. I don't think it'll work with any other ones. So what we'll do is we'll just foobar it. I'm going to bring in a couple of those. Normally I would make them, but I'm a little drawn on the fact of how I'm going to hit 700 cc. And plus I'm pressed for time. Definitely don't want this video running as long as the last one did. So we got these dynamometers. These are pretty cool. Dynamometers are pretty cool. We got our shaft units. We're good there. Now we need to make our next machine, which is the grinder. This will be under your processing. It's going to be the first machine. And as I said in the last episode, it will crush cobblestone to gravel, gravel to sand. But its most important job is making canola oil, or actually lubricant. And we have the engine perfect for it. 4,096 watts at 128 newton meters worth of torque. So, to make this guy, we're going to need 2 HSLA ingots. We're going to need 2 saws, steel gear, and 3 base panels. Now, I showed you how to make the gears, or not the gears, but the impalers. Well, we're going to do something a little different here for the saws. So grab some gears, put these here in the center, like so. This time we're going to draw like so. Now, so the impaler is across, and these go on the edges, and that's what gives you your saws. And we just need to make 2 total. Now, this is a pretty straight out, easy recipe to build. Put our saws here on the edge, like so. Put the gear in the middle. 2 ingots on top. And then the rest of its base panel. There we go. And there's our grinder. Cool. Okay, so we'll head back over here. First, we need to grab our shaft units. By the way, on the shafts, if you hold shift, you can see it'll tell you how much speed and torque the thing can handle. So this can handle 57.006 kRads and 6.7 kilo Newton meters. So that just lets you know that, and then of course the other ones will. Now some parts don't actually show you any specs. So what we're going to do is drop a dynamometer right here. We're going to rotate in just a moment. Remember, that's why we have our screwdriver. We can rotate parts into place. Simply like that. There we go. Output, no. Input. So red goes to green, red, green, okay. Connect the shaft unit. And then another shaft unit, and then finally the third shaft unit. So we'll just rotate those into position. Green to there, green to there, green to there. Okay, and then finally we hook our grinder up. If I stand like this, it did not go. There we go. Okay, now we'll test this out. All we gotta do is throw ethanol crystals in. There you go. You can see it's going to chew it all up. It takes quite a bit of ethanol to get it going. So the automated process will actually be your best bet. You see now we have 3 hours and 11 minutes or so of fuel. See all our gears are turning, and the grinder is actually turning. Now, I meant to get some canola before coming out. While we're doing this, we should also make a hopper while we're at it. So we'll grab some iron. Wrong. There we go. And okay. Oh yeah, it's a treasure chest, I believe. I don't have any spare chests. Oh boy. And aside these little cheats, this is the longest I've ever actually been straight in well, not HSLA. Gosh, I've been using HSLA so long now I can't even remember. Keep forgetting that I'm not using HSLA for that. Okay, so there we go. Got ourselves a hopper. That's going to hold 5, I believe, so we need 6. 1, 2, 3, or 3 plus 3, yes. Okay, so we'll head on back. We can automate this process a bit, and we're going to want to. In fact, we're going to really want to. Now, we check the grinder. It does have an internal storage, 4,000 lubricant. So we're good there, and you can see when we hook the power up, it's good there too. Notice the whatchamacallit did not take. Let's try that again. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Okay, cool. So now it's grinding it, and you're going to see lubricant gets deposited here. And so we get these are new. I've never seen these seed husks. So we'll have to pull those out. But we got 119 units of canola or lubricant from that one seed. There we go. Cool. Okay, so we need to bore out a new place to put our seed or our fuel or lubricant. We'll get the trusty sledge and then bash a hole. 1, 2, and number 3. Okay. Bash out the floor, bash out the ceiling, and there we go. Okay, we'll get our tank parts. Meant to do that too. Hopefully I got enough. I should. God knows I should. 2 valves, good. Oh, need some more tank. Alright, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then somewhere around here I had all my tank components. Oh, I'm still holding on to it. Jeez. Thought I put those up. Alright, like so. And then we take that and go like that. There you go. And more of that. Okay. Do I have all of it? Or is that all I have? 38 left. Might have to make some more. Alright, so before I actually do this, I need to make sure that I put the tank in the right spot. And I think I'll do that here. So my inlet will be right here. Yeah. Is it really worth it? Is it really worth the time and the effort? That coal, no, because I know where I can get a ton of coal and I'm not really worried about it. Alright, so we'll go ahead and keep boring out this way. Wait, no, one more. There we go. Actually, I don't want those pipes touching. So, if I don't want the pipes touching, I think it probably is a wise idea to put the drain on the other side. There. So that's what we'll do. We'll actually put the drain on the other side over here, or the fill. Then I can sit there and like keep the pipes separated from each other. And I know I could probably color these and such, and I haven't gotten to that point. There we go. And put this back, and that gives me that like so. That gives me my fill. Alright. So we're good there. I'm going to come back over here. Put that back right where I found it. And this goes like this to block off that, so I know not to put the piping there. Okay. Alright, good. Good to go. Right down the middle. And now extracting, oops, went too far. So extracting the lubricant from the system, we're going to need to use not only our pipes, but we're going to need to put those pipes like so. It has to go in on the side. And I'm sure we're going to need that servo. To extract the fluid. So we'll come up here, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5. There we go. Actually, you can go back here because we don't need you there. Alright, now I'm sure I'm going to need the servo. Put that away. This might be one of those things that I can't actually extract it. Let's do that, get that up there. There we go. Let's try this. I thought it was off the side, but I could have been wrong. Like I said, it's been a long while. So it lets me go there. It's letting me go there. Let me try dropping my servo in. There we go. Oh. Ignored. And there we go. So the fluid is transferring. Even though we don't technically have anywhere for it to go this moment. It's going to go ahead and transfer on down to where this is going to go in at. So, go ahead and build our walls. 2, 3, 2. Boom. Okay. We need a drain for the bottom. Then we'll go ahead and go up. Like so. And then there, and wow. I just totally made that fit. Perfect. Okay. Wow. Talk about amazing amount of timing or material use. Okay. Whoops. Okay, we'll just cover all this back up, put all this away. There we go. And we're good on that, and perfect. Okay, now oh, look at that. What's that down there? 10. There. When I get to reorganizing, this will be that'll be the point whenever I actually come back in here and do something with that stuff that I keep finding, like 10. Okay, stone blocks, bricks, like so, like so. There we go. Done and done. So now we're producing the canola oil, goes into the tanks. We got it right here. The only part is we're going to have to get those seeds to eject, of those husks. And right now, since those are new items, I'm not totally aware of those. I'll just leave it alone for now. But we do have something else we can do. So even though I hooked this up here, I'm going to go ahead. Actually, I should have done this before. I want to tap a line there, right here. You're asking yourself, why would I do such a thing? What we're going to do is break that connection like so, because I want to fill up this first. And I'm going to show you something I've been thinking about. And there goes an alarm, because it's now 4 p.m. in my world, and that means it's time for me to start actually getting ready to go to my job. That's why I didn't want this lasting too long. Well, so far we're 22 minutes, we're doing good. So what I was going to do was actually reconnect this line back up. Why would I do something like that, you ask? Well, here's the thing. If I reconnect my line, like take this right here and reconnect it so that this basically drains out and just goes in, what we do is create a recycling loop. Eventually the items inside the loop will be full and the fluid will actually go on to there, into the tank without any problem. So fluid goes in, fluid comes out, and there we go. Okay. Now, what we're going to do now is we've actually produced some fluid. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and take out this junction here, just so the point is made that the fluid gets through. And we can fill this up. Go ahead and take that junction, put that back in where it belongs. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to remove this steel shaft and we're going to replace it with something. If you look here on the dynamometer, we'll see that we're producing 65.536 kilowatts of power, 120 newton meters of torque, and 512 radians per second. And it didn't take long for the phone calls to start. So we need to wrap this up quick because that person will continue to call until I actually answer the phone. Alright, so what we're going to do is build a gearbox. Now gearboxes come in different varieties and different types. Just like the shafts, there's a wood, there's a stone, there's the steel, diamond, and of course the bedrock. Shafts, all of them with the exception of the bedrock, require lubricant. If you don't put lubricant in them, the shaft will take, the gears will take damage. Now, bedrock is infinite and will not take any damage. The other thing about gearboxes is they have a ratio. And you'll see here I've got the diamond lit up. It says 8-to-1 ratio. And what that means is we're going to take 8 and divide it from one point and add times it to another point, or bring it to another point. So if we take, let's say, speed and cut that down by 8, we would divide the speed by 8, and then when we add that difference to the torque side, so if it's, say, 256 torque, then we'd bring that into the torque side. That increases torque. Obviously, we can't build a diamond. And once again, we need to be careful. Gearboxes do have limits on them, and the book will tell you what those limits are. So we're going to do the 4-to-1 steel, because that's what we have handy. To make that, we'll need two 2X gears and 2 shaft units. I already showed you how to make those 2X gears. Oops. And just simply take and draw it like that. Like that. We need 2 total. Gotta make 6 of those. 1, 2, 1, 2. And then 1, 2, 1, 2. Boom. Now, to make the 4X gear, just take the 2X's, draw them like that, and boom. 4X gear unit. And making these are actually pretty simple. So 4-to-1, just take the gears, remember the shafts, or the shaft unit, the steel shaft units. The steel shafts, we put the shaft unit plus the mount. All we're going to do is take the 4X and combine it with the mount. So we need a mount. And I still have some mounts. That's why I didn't make all the mounts at once. There we go. So we'll take our mount, drop that down. Take that 4X and drop that there, and there we go, 4-to-1 steel box. Now, before you do this, because remember, it's going to take damage, what we're going to do is turn off our gears, our rotation. And to do that, we will simply rotate these out of position. There we go. Just remove the gear, and ba-boom, bada-boom, bada-bing. Drop that in, and there we go. Remember, green's input, red is output. And you'll notice the fluid is going into the gearbox. Now if we mouse over it, we'll see that it is coming up. It holds 24 units of lubricant, so it's not a great deal. That's why the looping on this is actually good, because we're looping the fluid in and out of the containers, and it's going to keep it filled up, or at least it should. Then another thing we could do, if we wanted to, is attach a tank here and then split it. But this works better. But see, this whole thing here is dependent on the fact that fluid coming from this tank this is already empty. We're dependent on the idea that the fluid coming from this tank is going to be in constant motion. And that would be fine if this gearbox was constantly filling up. So we'll go ahead and remove that, get ready for that there. Okay, now we're going to speed the machine up. We've got enough. We're okay. What we're going to do is take our screwdriver. We first check it. Right now we're running in torque mode, which means it's going to take the torque and turn it to speed, I believe. We'll check right now. So just rotate this back into position. And there we go. Now if we look, all speeds are good. How do we know what we're actually producing? Let's knock this box out, and we'll attach that other dynamometer up, like we have here. And we can actually see what we're producing in and out. There we go. So, you notice our torque has went up, our speed has decreased. So instead of generating speed, we're generating more torque. And that's what torque mode does for us. We're doubling the amount of torque. We're taking the torque in times it by 4. So notice that over here it's 128. We take 128 times it by 4, and you'll come up with 512. Should be. Just verify my math. 2, 8, yep, 512. So 512 torque. and we're cutting the speed down by 4. So that's what the ratios mean. So we take that speed, we're going to divide it by 4, it gives us 128 Nm, and we're going to take our torque, which is 128 28 Nm, and times it by 4. Notice the power never changes because the power is constant. Now, if we come back in here, we'll see that's in torque ratio 4. We're still generating fuel, but we're going to do stuff a little faster now. It's not going to take as long. Well, I'm not going to say it doesn't take as long, but it's going to cut down the amount of time that it does take. We go back into, here's our gearboxes, by the way, which shows you an example, more of an, well, that's, yeah, how to make them, the different types. I'll look in the book here in a minute, but processing. So this machine at a minimum needed 4,096 watts of power, which we have more than enough of, and 128 Nms of torque. So we've actually doubled the speed by increasing the torque, the crushing power, but we've reduced the speed. So the only way we'd actually know if this is actually having any impact is to take a stopwatch and time it. I do believe, though, by increasing the torque, that you're actually going to get better production out of it. Remember, we can't drop below 128 Nm worth of Newton per meters of whatchamacallit, torque. So we can't change this into a speed setting from torque to speed. If we did, what we would do is just simply hold the shift and right click. Oops. No. Just, hey, stop. So it's in speed now. There we go. So when you see when I switch it back to torque, it started up. If I go back and do it again, it'll shut down because now it's producing 2 kiloradians a second, but it's only producing 32 Nm of torque. Definitely not enough for this machine. Now, if we had a bigger engine, which we could certainly put one on, we can increase that speed and that radians and be able to actually increase the total speed in the machine itself. So, see how we're doing here. We're still lubing up, but I think we got enough. We can go ahead and reopen the system. You can also just directly flow. If you wanted to, you could just simply hook up. There. We'll just close that off for now. If you wanted to, you can simply just fill up buckets and then fill this thing up. But it will hold on for quite a while. It's not something that's going to drain literally in a matter of seconds. It's going to take it a bit for it to actually drain off. There we go. So we have our canola production going on. And you can automate it and have it bring in. I'm assuming we could probably connect, if we had A, we could have the export here and then our import here. Obviously the fluid is coming off of this side over here, so that's good. And so we can get rid of these husks. Who knows what these are good for. I'll look these up and see what these actually can be used for. And be able to report that back to you in the next episode. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. We're going to keep producing that canola. Eventually, we'll actually start filling up this tank here and producing or have a nice little backlog of canola oil, just like we have in the crisp seed oil, which I've run out of. Again, it's time for more coal. Cool. Anyways, that's it for this episode. I'm going to head on off, get myself ready for my work, and get out and make some money tonight. Do my thing, as it were. And tomorrow, next time I'm on, I'll be doing the, there we go. Next time I'm on, we do a video, we'll be doing some mining. Or quite possibly just be expanding our network. Maybe even get into, not our network, but our Rotarycraft, and get in more into the, how distracting is that? Come on. There we go. Nice and pretty now. Anyway, we can expand our network and get in more into production magnetizing cores and so forth, and actually using these gearboxes more to show you how to generate more speed and more power and so forth. Because, like I said, when we're coming up on our first machines where it's not going to be as simple as boom, boom, done. We're actually going to have to manipulate the machines a little bit to get things the way we want them to. There you go. You see, is it just deposited? I hope that was thunder. That was indeed thunder. Good. Okay, so anyways, that's it for me. Have a good day. This is Simple Majority signing off.